So I was in the middle of cooking up something absolutely treacherous for y'all, but I underestimated how long it would take. So I went to Lowe's and I picked up this long overdue builder's paper and just cooked up y'all a banger hoodie instead. So the fashion guys must have been looking out for me, bro, because I waited and then somehow I got blessed with the Obey find at the thrift. So I seamed toward that, I traced that pattern out, changed the hood up a little bit. Now we got our own pattern. So I cut them johns out, then I attached the back hit with some quilting spray for an easy cook up. Alright, so it's the next morning. I already like tacky tack glued the logo down to the back of a hoodie. I was thinking about symmetrical, asymmetrical. I just decided to go symmetrical. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sew this thing on so we can assemble the hoodie. Should be smooth sailing after this part. So once that back applique is sitting on there right, we're gonna go ahead and sew the front and back bodice shoulders, wrong sides facing, as well as top stitch. Perfect. For my next trick, let my dick go through my phone. Let me stop. What we gotta do next? Next, I'm gonna lay it down this way. We're gonna throw them sleeves in. Y'all see what I'm going. All right, so I believe if I bring these arms in, this top one is my wearer's left, right? So that would be this arm. And so I think that arm would be this arm. So this bottom one goes here. I hope it fits. I ain't got no notches, no nothing, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We ain't got not one notch. I just be raw dog and I just be boot. As long as it fit here to here, frick it, bro. Run it. Shit. Alright, it's looking like it fits. Loosely pinned at least. Let's sew them up and see. Shit. Come on, y'all. Let's sew them up and see. Y'all heard me, then you down. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at y'all like that. Some of y'all probably like, well, how are you sewing it like this? I've never seen you sew it like this. If you're one of the people that sew the sleeve up, sew the torso up, then sew them together. I'm gonna show you a method in a second here. I'm gonna show you my method. There's a method to my madness. I learned this back in college. But if I show y'all, you have to drop a sub. You have to drop a sub and have to drop a like. No, drop a sub and like anyway, bro. And then the same thing to the other arm, too, to make it true. I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all know right now, this ain't like the thickest, heaviest, coldest winter coat. Not coldest, warmest. I just wanted to make some like a little layer piece. I really like this fabric and I wanted to see how it would turn out. It's like one of those foamier synthetic fabrics. I wanted to see how the shape would turn out. So I'm not usually a fan of these fabrics, but I figured I'd pick a shape that I do kind of like, you know, the slim boxy fit that the old skate drip used to have. See what that would do. So let me go ahead and pin the rest of this up, sew this up, top stitch these. Y'all get the vibes. All right, let me do the other sleeve off camera, save a little time. I know y'all ready to just see the hoodie at the end, bro. I ain't finna make y'all wait. I just finished up top stitching both sleeves. So the next thing we wanna do is show that secret sauce. Like I said, bro, you better sub up, bro. Sub up, share the video. Probably gonna gatekeep that mug. I know how y'all be doing. Y'all be gatekeeping so y'all can come back and save it for yourselves. I don't like that, bro. I hate that. Secret sauce. So boom. Instead of doing torso, sleeve, attach the torso to both sleeves, I feel it's so much easier to do sleeve onto the torso, and then boom, you can pin this up from the bottom hem all the way up to the side of the sleeve, and then you can get that done in one stitch, bro. I feel like it's way easier than trying to like, you know what I mean? Trying to do all that extra stuff and pin the tube up to the thud of the thud, pinning the tube to the tube. So let me pin this thing up so I can show y'all and quit yapping. So the pins you absolutely need. One right there by the edge of the sleeve. Wait, let that focus. Y'all know what I'm talking about though. Shit. One right there by the edge of the sleeve. One right here under your pit, right? You gotta iron that seam, or not iron that seam, pin that seam right there by your pit. And then of course, right there at the hem. absolutely need those pins just to make sure everything lines up correctly. And then, you know, from there you can either, I just threw one extra one on the side seam, probably throw one extra on this sleeve, and you just sew that thing up. And some of you may already knew this, some of you may didn't, you know, I'm just gonna drop sauce, you know, drop a little sauce. Y'all know Unk gonna drop, Yunk, not Unk. I'm not trying to manifest Unky, bro. I'm Yunky, I'm still young. Y'all know Yunk gonna drop a little sauce on y'all. Let me shut up and sew this thing up. See, wasn't that just so much easier, bro? Wasn't that just so much easier? Y'all drop the like, drop the sub. Please, bro, please, I'm begging you. Next thing we need to work on is this hood. Now, I already tried it on, and it fits perfect, but I ain't gonna show y'all to the end, bro. I went with the classic 2-panel hood, really 4. You know, you sew 2 panels, and you sew them both together inside out. Oh wait, I gotta serge the side seams. Let me serge the side seams, and then we can go ahead and get on this hood. All right, so we got my 2 separate hoodie panels here, my 2 inside and outside. Yeah, I'm gonna take them, line them up, and we're gonna hit the top around to the back. Top around to the back. I know the hood pattern looks weird. Y'all bear with me. I like a square pointier in the back hood pattern. If that's okay with y'all, I like my poke out in the back a little bit. That's okay with y'all. Let's sew this thing up. I shouldn't need no pins. It should be it should be like a perfect. I'm gonna throw some in just in case, bro. We throw 3 little pins up in these things before we get to sewing. Hold on. All right, let me go iron these seams. Iron these seams open so we can like attach the hoods together. I thought that would do it. I guess I gotta iron them first. Okay, boom. Now that I pinned that top joint up, I'm gonna throw 2 more pins on the side. All right, sew them up, flip them inside out, iron them. Y'all know the gist. Y'all know what we do here, bruh. Boom, 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 boom. Bada bing, bada boomsies. Let me go ahead and go in there and iron. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been catching hell. I need to get a ham. Let me go iron this thing so we can do the last few stitches. Okay, boom. Just got back from the ironing board. Let me explain to y'all what went down. So we sewed them together, right? Y'all remember we sewed them together, right? Boom. I've ironed that seam flat. You know, I ironed that seam open where I sewed them together. And then I pushed the softer one, the one I said I cut it wrong or I sewed it together wrong. I pushed that one inside of the other one, right? And then I ironed that seam down, ironed that down as well. Now that we got the basic, you know, hood structure, let me put it on so y'all believe me. Throw in this last little line that goes, where does it go? Like right around the edge. How big do I want to make it? I guess like 3/4 maybe. All right, boom. Now we can just go ahead and attach this to the hoodie. And that'll be that for real. Let me do a little tack at this back bottom seam just to make sure the insides stay together though. Okay. Perfect. Tiny ass hoodie, bro. What the hell? But it is pointy like I wanted. Oh, beanie head ass hoodie. Oh, cone head ass hoodie. Let me quit lollygagging and get this bit on the jacket. Alright, so I don't know how y'all put y'all hoodies together, but what I'm finna do is find the back point of my pattern, right? And then right here where this hood is, just attach it. Shit, that's all it is. Let me make sure it's perfectly centered though. I like to, this is the one thing I do like to pin up all the way because I want to make sure it sits right before I sew it in and serge it in and stuff. So I'm gonna pin this all the way around to see how it looks before I get to do any sewing at all. That's centered enough for me. Not, we'll just have to seam to him. Frick it, let's run it. Let's see if it did its job. It looks like it did. It looks weird at the front because it doesn't overlap. But it's just beauty. Oh wait. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. I sewed it the wrong way, bro. You cannot make this shit up. Ah! Damn, bro. Shit was almost a perfect sew up, bro. I'm just moving too fast. Shit was perfect. What did I do wrong, bro? Jesus. I'm trying to let y'all just get a perfect sew up, bro. It always gotta be something. Fuck, now I can't get these threads. All right, there's no way this shit happens twice, bro. There's no way in Sam hell. Okay, let me get my right side. This is the side that I need on the outside. So that means that I have no clue what I'm even doing anymore, bro. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Yeah, I guess like this. No, but this is, hold on, I feel like I gotta flip this. Hold on. I'm tripping, y'all. It's been so long since I done sewed a damn hoodie. This feels right. This feels right that this is inside out. And then maybe I flip this inside out and then attach. Yeah, I think I'm on to something, guys. I think I'm on to something. And I need to attach them to the outside, not the inside. So if I'm attaching them to the outside, that means boom, 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 like that. I'm pretty sure. Damn, I hate sewing math. I'm just playing. I love sewing math. This is what I gotta do. I know what I gotta do now. Okay, boom. So this is inside out. This is inside out. And that's how they're gonna fit, right? So that means that... All right, bro, my camera died, but I done ate a little lunch. I feel a little better in the belly, a little better in the mental. Let's finish doing this thing. So, excuse me, the way I pinned it up, what did I do? Shit. All right, so this is inside out. Inside out, lay it flat. Then I turn my hood inside out, and then I pin my right sides together. So just like you sew everything else, guys, right sides together. I don't even know what made me mess up the first time. But I also added this little zipper from the other half of my Porterville collar from the Porterville video or whatever. But let me just pin this thing up, sew this thing up so I can see what we're gonna do here. I know exactly what it was, bro. I was hungry. I was munchions, bro. And whenever I get the munchions, I can't think straight. I get the munchions, I start talking myself in circles, and I gotta turn off the camera when I get the munchions. That's the moral of the story. See, I was pissed when it happened, bro. I was pissed when my camera died, but that was really God. He knew I was getting munchions. He was like, just take the rest, son. Nah, but let me stop playing. I pinned those things up so we can get a nice sew up. I don't know what I was talking about right size facing. I meant to say wrong size facing. We're just sewing those things that I believe a quarter of an inch. I think it was 1/4. Just to be able to serge it, and the serge completely covers the stitch. I'm pretty sure on most hoodies, they don't even stitch it, they just serge it. So I wanted to make sure the serge covered the stitch. Yeah, let me serge that. Here, let me sew that one more time where my foot came up. Y'all didn't see that, I might have to edit that part out. Get a little serge up. And after the serge up, I gave the zipper a good little top stitchy. Okay, I tried it on, the zipper was sitting funny. It kept making the hood, like, the zipper kept popping back up. So I'm gonna do another top stitch on the seam that's like right beside the zipper. I'm gonna basically top stitch the serge seam into the top of the hoodie. And then we're gonna do another one like on the zipper and see if that helps. Bro, watching this back, I sure hope y'all understood what the hell I said, cause I ain't catch a lick of that, to be honest with you. But now I believe I'm changing my foot. And that's the wrong, oh my God, what am I doing? That's the needle. Okay, now I'm changing my foot to the top stitch of foot. All right, so this is a stitch that I just did. Now that I changed my foot, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more top stitch along the like closest to the teeth as I possibly can on the zipper. All right, so I just tried it on, that thing. It fits devious. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a few final touches like, so this, hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. This part right here. I made an executive decision to snip the hoodie in the center collar. Front edges of my hoodie didn't overlap, so it just made it look a little bit more normal, kind of like those old varsity hoodies. So this part down. What else am I gonna do? And I guess like add a nostalgia tag somewhere, but I guess I also need to catch y'all. What do I need to do? I need to dye the hems. I'm gonna reuse the hems from the Obey hoodie, the sleeve hems, the sleeve cuffs, and the waistband cuff. But I gotta dye those first. I wanna dye those a deep dark brown, and I'm about to dye the winged black bling stuff. So I'm gonna just dye those while I dye that, and then I'll catch y'all after I dye that stuff. What the f was that?